Ladies and gentlemen, there are moments in life when we stand at the edge of uncertainty, staring into the unknown, wondering if there's a way forward. We've all been there, facing challenges that seem insurmountable, obstacles that feel immovable, and questions that have no immediate answers. It's in these moments that doubt creeps in, and we ask ourselves, is there a way through this? But just because we can't see the way doesn't mean there isn't one. Think about how we navigate life. We make plans, set goals, and create strategies, but then life throws unexpected detours our way. Sometimes the path we thought was right crumbles beneath our feet. We're left scrambling, questioning everything, wondering if we made a mistake. And yet, if we look back, we often find that the times we felt the most lost were the very moments that led us to exactly where we were meant to be. Imagine driving in dense fog at night. You can only see a few feet ahead, but you don't stop moving. You trust that the road continues even though you can't see beyond your headlights. Life works the same way. Just because we can't see the full picture doesn't mean there isn't a way forward. The key is trust. Trust in something bigger than ourselves. Trust that every closed door, every delay, every setback is shaping us for what's ahead. It's easy to believe in the way when it's clear. It's much harder when the road is hidden. But history shows us that the greatest breakthroughs come when people keep moving forward despite uncertainty. The most successful people, the strongest leaders, the most resilient individuals are the ones who embrace the unknown, who step forward even when they don't see the full staircase. There's always a way. Even when circumstances say otherwise, even when logic argues against it, even when time seems to be running out, the way is being prepared, even if it's not yet visible. The challenge is to keep walking, keep believing, and keep trusting that what's ahead is better than what's behind. Because when we do, we'll look back and realize there was a way all along. We've all had moments in life where we feel stuck, uncertain, or even lost. The path forward isn't clear, and the more we try to figure it out, the more frustrated we become. It's in these moments that doubt takes hold. We start questioning whether there's even a way forward. But the truth is, just because we can't see the way doesn't mean it is. Think about a seed buried in the soil. It sits in darkness, unseen, seemingly lifeless. To the eye, nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, a process is unfolding. Roots are taking shape and a breakthrough is coming. The fact that we don't see the growth doesn't mean it isn't happening. The same is true for our lives. There are things at work behind the scenes, doors opening that we can't yet see, and solutions forming that haven't yet revealed themselves. When we look back, we realize that the times we felt most uncertain were often the moments that led to the biggest breakthroughs. We see that what felt like a dead end was actually a turning point. The job loss that forced us into a new opportunity, the disappointment that redirected us to something better, the delay that protected us from something we weren't ready for. The way was being made all along, even when it was invisible to us. It's easy to trust when everything is clear. It's much harder when we're walking through uncertainty. But the truth remains, just because we can't see the way doesn't mean it isn't there. Sometimes we're simply in a season of trust, learning to walk forward even when the full picture hasn't been revealed. It's in those moments that faith is built, resilience is formed, and something greater is being prepared. The way exists. It's just a matter of time before it comes into view. We are conditioned to seek clarity, to crave certainty, to want answers before we take the next step. But life doesn't always work that way. The most meaningful journeys, the ones that shape us the most, are often filled with uncertainty. It's uncomfortable, sometimes even frightening, but it is not the enemy, it's part of the process. Think about any great story, the hero never starts with all the answers. They don't begin with a clear, obstacle-free path. They step forward despite not knowing exactly how things will unfold. Uncertainty is what makes growth possible. It forces us to rely on trust, to develop resilience, to keep moving even when the road ahead is unclear. Without uncertainty, there would be no breakthroughs, no discoveries, no transformation. Some of the greatest moments in life happen because of the unknown. It's the uncertainty of a new job, a new relationship, or a big decision that makes the journey meaningful. If we always knew the outcome, there would be no excitement, no adventure, no need for faith. It is in those moments of doubt and hesitation that we learn who we are and what we're truly capable of. We often resist uncertainty because it feels like a lack of control, but what if, instead of fearing it, we embraced it? What if we saw it as a sign that something new is unfolding, that we are stepping into a space where possibilities exist beyond what we can currently see? The truth is, uncertainty is not stopping us. It is shaping us. It is preparing us for what's ahead. The challenge is not to eliminate uncertainty, but to learn how to walk through it with confidence, knowing that the journey is unfolding exactly as it should. We tend to see closed doors as disappointments, as signs that something went wrong, as moments of failure. But what if they aren't? What if every door that doesn't open is actually guiding us toward the one that will? Life has a way of leading us exactly where we need to be, even when it doesn't feel that way in the moment. Think about the times you desperately wanted something to work out, only to face rejection, delay, or an unexpected change. In the moment, it felt like a setback, but looking back, you can see how that redirection led you to something better. An opportunity, a lesson, a path you never would have considered had things gone the way you originally planned. The job that didn't happen, the relationship that ended, the plan that fell apart. Each of these moments wasn't a failure, it was a course correction. Detours are frustrating because they take us off the route we expected. We feel like we're wasting time, like we're further from our goal. But often, what feels like an inconvenience is actually a necessary adjustment. Sometimes we are being protected from something that isn't right for us. Sometimes we are being prepared for something greater. And sometimes the detour is actually the real path, the one we never would have chosen for ourselves, but turns out to be exactly where we were meant to go. When we stop seeing closed doors as failures and start recognizing them as redirections, everything shifts. We stop resisting and start trusting. We stop focusing on what didn't happen and start looking for what's ahead. The roadblocks aren't there to stop us, they are there to guide us. The question is not whether things will work out, but whether we will choose to see every redirection as an opportunity to step into something even greater. Moving forward is easy when the path is well lit, when every step is mapped out, when certainty is on our side. But that's not always how life works. More often than not, we find ourselves standing at the edge of the unknown, unsure of what's next. It's in those moments that faith becomes the driving force, the belief that even without seeing the full picture, we are still meant to take the next step. There's something powerful about moving forward when nothing makes sense, when the answers aren't obvious, when logic says to wait, but something inside says to go. It's not blind optimism, it's trust. Trust that the road will appear as we walk it. Trust that even if we don't see the entire staircase, the first step is enough. Trust that uncertainty isn't a signal to stop, but an invitation to keep going. Some of the greatest moments in life begin with a step into the unknown, the decision to start something new, to pursue a dream, to embrace a change. All of these require faith. Not faith in perfect conditions, not faith in immediate results, but faith in the process. The most successful people, the strongest leaders, the most resilient individuals don't always know exactly where they're going, but they go anyway, because they understand that clarity often comes through action, not before it. Doubt will always try to convince us to wait until things make sense, until the entire plan is clear, but waiting for complete certainty is often what keeps people stuck. Faith is the willingness to move forward, even when the next step feels uncertain. It's trusting that as long as we keep going, the way will reveal itself in time. It's easy to look back and hold on to what was. Past successes, familiar routines, comfortable places. But life is not meant to be lived in reverse. No matter how good or bad the past has been, what's ahead has the potential to be even greater. Growth, new opportunities, and possibilities don't exist in what's behind us, they exist in what's yet to come. There's a reason why moving forward feels uncertain. The future is unwritten, unpredictable, and often unfamiliar. But just because it's unknown doesn't mean it's not good. Every challenge, every lesson, every experience up to this point has been preparing us for something more. The past may have shaped us, but it does not define the limits of where we can go. The best chapters aren't the ones we've already read, they're the ones we have yet to write. Letting go of what's behind doesn't mean forgetting or dismissing it. It means understanding that dwelling on what was keeps us from stepping into what could be. The comfort of the past can make us hesitate, making us believe that what we had was as good as it gets. But that's not true. What's ahead may not look exactly like what we expected, but it holds new opportunities, new growth, and new purpose. Moving forward requires trust. Trust that even if the road ahead isn't clear, it leads somewhere meaningful. Trust that even if today is uncertain, tomorrow holds promise. Trust that what's behind us has served its purpose, and what's ahead has the potential to exceed anything we've imagined. The future isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace, because the best is still to come. The journey of life is filled with uncertainty, detours, and moments where the way forward seems invisible. But just because we can't see the path doesn't mean it isn't there. Closed doors are not failures, they are redirections. Uncertainty is not an obstacle, it is part of the process. Faith is not about having all the answers, it's about moving forward even when the next step isn't clear. The road ahead may not always make sense in the moment, but trust that it is leading somewhere greater than where you've been. Growth, purpose, and new opportunities don't exist in the past. They exist in what's still to come. The greatest breakthroughs happen when we stop waiting for perfect clarity and start walking forward with confidence, knowing that even when we can't see the way is